There are two very important combat mechanics in quotation marks that should be talking. Pretty much in this 5.2 with the leaks and the filtered whole beta of the 5.3, which are the famous. Level 100, which of course at 5.30 we don't have, will be at 5.4, 5.5, 6, will have been like that of 5.2 and old, like that of Icebreaker and Superdriver, that dissed to a lot.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
People made him think that maybe he would have to do in the future with Captain since it is Element. Creo, and from there you know that a ball of speculation is made. Of this level 100 and of how it really affected since a week ago is implemented the VUFO reactions, how it has actually improved or affected certain equipment, and if all this has not been. So leave a good like, a good alcovined, subscribe, leave a good comment for the algorithm. Thanks for watching the video and the channel. Thanks for all the love, for the support. For all that the channel is accomplishing, it costs you nothing. It is totally free. I recommend and position the video, and you know that apart from all that, just by doing what you don't, cost nothing. You are participating for a blessing and care that come difficult times with Mabuiga, with Sidlali, with Alakino, with Ziayanan, with new characters coming. So to participate, like, subscribe with bell, comment for the algorithm. For that bendy good luck. If you're eating that take advantage, welcome guests to the directs. Okay. And we're going with this shift to combat that in the end seems to be that there's no major change in Genshin impact. We started at level 100 because basically this is easy. It was talked about in sources, which are normally correct and which usually means having contact with hollover workers, i.e. sources of leaks, as you already know, that a template of an assumption was being developed. 100 for NATLAN, that at some point NATLAN would come. This is true that they have not said. That came soon, but at some point in general, and at this level, 100 within what fits it. Squares very well because it is between quotes fairly simple to calculate with progressive scaling. That we currently have is a rule of 3. Simple. If one character every 10 stages wins, this percentage of your stat, i.e. for example, Ayaka scale with critical damage, give an example, and so on the rest of the characters because it's easy to know how much base attack would win. Characters currently, for example, or total life such as Novelette or Fiorina, and apart with the rising stat, which for example, Novelette and Fiorina ascend with critical damage and probability, criticism respectively, the two, and we would be able to calculate how much it goes up to level 100, and with that we can to this day, and many creators have made it minimally know how they would all go up these characters and how they would improve that real percentage within a medium construction, a more or less normal construction of artifacts, because you know that it is also affects the Just a lot of people also speculated that there would be special items that you might not be able to upload. At first, all the characters obviously, and just upload 1 or 2 as each version or something like that. It would be very simple, but it would be a boost for your favorite characters, that specifically because your bar, cars and supports make your work much better, and for the creators' videos of this character. It's worth it to go up this one, not this one is going to win you so much lists that characters would get me more. The penalty goes up to 100 etc. Not but well nor trace in the beta of the 5.3 that already practically. A week ago the beta came out and we already have almost all of it. There's no trace of level 100, who knows whether it will remain in smoke or along 5.4 or 5.5 or so. Until Sneeze Naya, which will be 6 and 7 and 8. It is said that there will not be 5.8 because it will come. I hope that yes, because it is a mechanics that will give an air fresh to the game, and besides that there is no trace of artifacts, and this is very rare because it's also the first time that apart from the rare thing from Mavuika and Zadrali's drip marketing that it didn't come out, bring us at a 0.3, don't bring us artifacts, always at 0.0, 0.3 and 0.6 AT. All previous versions have been the time to bring us new artifacts in NATLAN in principle. It's not like that after a week in beta and that things have been coming out just the same during the week. In beta, there are definitely no new artifacts, and this is weird because it is also Mavuika. If Activate is the parchment set while in the field and out of the field for the entire team, but is a set rare to be a carry. Even though if you are going to add 40 elementary years to yourself and the AI characters that react with their element and the set of obsidian that is the one that should carry, being carry that gives him 40% probability and 15 years inflicted, serves him but only serves him if you play to carry 6 seconds because then already being carry doesn't lose points in octambulism with that, which you couldn't reactivate with which you don't get the bufo all the time that it's already in the field. Is inconsistent, and if the set of obsidian is activated but as support outside the field making it. If Anglin has explained, and this is weird, it's inconsistent. It's like it doesn't go all the way to 100. By 100 with the sets, and again the Archonte or Archonte, in this case the U, mainly are Raiden, Ajida and Fiorina, who are 3 female Archons if they have coincided, and perfectly with the set or sets of your region and Mavuika, no. But it is that apart they do not come from the set 533. So again, weird point, I don't know if they want to come later on at 5.4 or 5.5 with a wave of set C. And level 100 or something, and here we close this theme of level 100. This is the information that there is so far, and it's very curious now, the bufo, the reactions that many will tell me Phil, because the National Raider improved no overload equipment more electrocharged, or that they can. Making is super vaporized that I have explained this term a lot in many videos these days have improved a little because in the end, a team of Chaska Auroran, Fiorina Bennett that is the core to today, more played and more consistent of Chaska because it receives this bufo because it does more damage to. Electrocharged and overloaded, not since the improvement has been interesting, Chaska remains like a character like a carry of medium table considering that above the Chaska itself there is 80 billion carries. Plus the Bulla itself that will come as carries will be put above or to the Alekino Park below Neuvillette, and then Chaska if you're not in case you don't go in directly. As a new carry to the top 5 of carries today, as much carry as there is in Genshin Impact there. So much that it generates, let's say, an oversupply that this in economics means it's a loss. There are too many carries and that Chaska as a carry arrives in Genshin Impact and does not enter the top 5, hardly gets into the top 10 as a carry. I'm not talking about your teams, but as a carry. That a lot of people online are saying that it's too bad that this term that a lot of people when a character is not broken automatically is pocho and not worth it and mini to see is in. Medium table is fun but clear above has Neuvillette Alekino Mawika in the future. Agaming Aquinish Amo Alani, which are 2 natal carries plus a very long list of carries. Over poor Chaska. Because I explain this because even with the bufo to the reactions her team is not as strong as other Genshin Impact teams in general, which are also teams of the carries that I just mentioned a moment ago that protects them more in Genshin would be cheaper. That they will really benefit from this, that they were already in the top of the game today because, well, example number 1 is Neuvillette, who played Electrocharged before the arrival of Shilonen, the pure team of Shilonen, who is the best team in the game. I made you video of him. We're here on screen. Let's say he's still on the throne. That's the Neuvillette Fiorina Kazuha Xilonen, where there is no electrocharged reaction if we put it to compete with an electrocharged Neuvillette. Old multi-target damage, let's say it's improved quite a bit, and gets to equal the damage of this equipment because the electrocharged is also distributed among the enemies and does damage in area and such, but does not exceed it. And the damage uni-target is still higher than that of the Neuvillette Monohydro. Poor, who is that of Xilonen Kazuha, Fiorina and Neuvillette. The best team of the game then. First contribution or change. There is not. It is a little stronger than Neuvillette Electrocharged, but no more. Strong that their best equipment where there are no Electrocharged now, the Raiden National, how much has improved? And Raiden has risen in playability because this is an interesting debate if he has improved. Raiden National hasn't improved a damn madness would climb some spot on time? To this day, it would exceed in optimal conditions already consolidated equipment, mainly from Arlecchino. From Neuvillette Gaming, also the Kinnish ones, neither with Fiorina C2 Kinnish cone and weapon would stay around Moalani's, but when you shoot with Moalani, you know that you can get more than new. Somewhat less consistent as a character if you have a very powerful team than today's Raiden. National makes many small numbers, but it is difficult to stay close and hope that I would have the Raiden National to overcome, perhaps Mualani get up to Kinnick's team. Cracking more burn with Fiorina, C2 Mavuika and Bennett is effectively Mavuika what happens to Mavuika that all witnesses their elementary ability to Chero, give that their elementary ability is 12 seconds in field is 2 seconds less than Xiangling, and makes 6 hits the same with conditions. Optimal exceeds the total damage of Xiangling, i.e. Mavuika remains a sub-DPS and continues to give more damage out of the field than Xiangling even if he's less seconds, and unfortunately he's half dependent. Dependent on its cone because the cone makes its noctambulism points go from 100 to 100 to 120. And that makes it out of the field instead of 6 ticks make 8 ticks and is instead of 12 seconds 16 seconds. Out of the field with 18 cooldown, and back here we have a better Xiangling, and in fact it goes over 16 seconds, but it would depend on your cone because I explained this in case we consider a team. Raiden National of Mavuika C2, not 1 but 2, because he also eliminated 20% of the defense of enemies. Then Raiden with Gelan Mavuika Bennett, if in the end this works well, if it would improve but not. Has to do with the Bufo, the reactions of the 5.2, has to do with the arrival of a character who, Isla Conte, that will give a 20% elimination defense to all enemies, 50% damage. Inflicted on the entire team, a 40% also of elemental damage by the parchment, set to also everything. The team is going to do more damage than Xiangling, and it's going to be 16 seconds and not 14 like Xiangling the Ring Mavuika has off the field. Then it will improve. Raiden National, if the change of reactions, that is the main theme of the video, has made something really or affection in some way, or has something interesting to comment on, or good gentlemen. I think I already knew the answer. The truth is that a lot of noise and few nuts. I hope that the superconductor change and icebreaker really come and give us a hint of Captain at least. The smoke reactions level 100 that hopefully come a moment and that makes many talents too. I'm saying 13 is the 10 with the crown plus 3 of the constellation and give us more year ceilings in the game, so come sometime from NATLAN, but again it's smoke. We've got both things turned out to be a little bit more. Like a good ultia subscribe, leave a good comment for the same. I felt like to comment on these issues because a lot of noise was made with the level 100, made a lot of noise with the buff A, the reactions, and in the end because it has not changed practically anything that we already had, and I hope that this really serves something and it has not been a deterrent weapon to do this, and then in the end it doesn't affect at all that Joyobraz if it makes changes that are interesting changes, and not is to distract the people. That is then what continues to do these days to this day, and besides, it's good for him that people know that because of the bike on social networks they're getting. Little Torches much more cared to have very good day. Will not be me neither nor and Kaito.